Today we're at the Griffin Opera House. That's the star. That's the homegoing. We'll be remembering Marian Chambers. Let's go inside. This is a pretty amazing place. I had no idea there was anything like this in Griffin. Hey, John and Sherry.
Hey, how you doing, Kevin?
Doing fine, thanks. Let's take a look inside.
Very nice.
Whoa, isn't this amazing? Hey, Linda.
Hey, it's pretty.
Yeah, I just wanted people to see that there really was something like this here. It's awesome. All right, now, pan around. Let you look. Okay, now, we'll pause, pick it up later. Okay, everybody's getting in their seat except me, because I'm going to stand up and tape this. I wouldn't bore you with a tripod movie, would I? No way. What's your name?
Chad.
Chad, it's good to see you. You friends with Paul? Oh, okay, that's good. And there's Paul over there. Paul's right at the perfect location, right here by the bar. Okay.
Yeah, she's done.
She can't wake on the other.
Yeah.
Now. So yeah, we got a pretty good audience today. Some family, some friends, but all here to remember somebody real special. And I got a good slideshow going. We're going to have Robert on the stage here shortly.
You're not going to stand up on the stage?
I'm not. I'll be Paul. I know my invitation is Jim.
Is it lit?
You can stand right there if you want to.
We don't have a mic?
We don't have a mic.
And I'm going to have a silhouette if I don't stand over here.
I didn't want to climb the stairs.
I don't blame you. Let's see. I may move around some. I may switch sides. I may sit on the floor, actually. Kevin's up there. Okay.
As you can see, we're an informal crowd. Thank you all for being here. Mom would be delighted to see people from high school, some of our cousins we haven't seen in 30 plus years. And I couldn't have found a better place. The stars aligned, or that's what Mom would have said. The whistle that you just heard, that was a huge part of our childhood. We were a little afraid of it, but you know, you knew Marian, you could be a little afraid of her. I just decided to go with a theater theme because Mom loved the theater so much. So here's what I have to say about that. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts. In Mom's life, these parts included daughter, sister, aunt, ingenue, teacher, wife, mother, granny, and friend, and that lady down the street with all the cats. Mom knew and did a lot of things. She loved to play cards, and she was good too. But she had a habit of constantly moving or tapping her fingers, probably because she was a typist, key punch operator, and a flautist. Every time she mailed it or went out, she snapped the corner of the card down on the table. Drove me crazy. I don't snap the cards when I lay them down, but I do constantly move my fingers. It drives Christy crazy. But fiddlesticks, I'm turning into Mom. If any of you don't know it by now, Mom loved the theater. For several years, she directed the senior play at our high school, and in this role, she exuded confidence, and I can totally picture her in the gym rehearsing with the students. What made this so special was that she respected and collaborated with them, and several of them remained close to her for years. Well, she would say eons. On opening night, we would watch the rest of the audience. We would watch with the rest of the audience. And even though by then we knew the play by heart, we were still awestruck that our mom had anything to do with something so cool. And afterwards, we would go from star to star to get our programs autographed. I still have one of those programs. Don't tell anybody, but the last time I came across it while digging through old boxes, I noticed it smelled a little like cat pee. I have to say this. You knew Mom, and you all know that we grew up in a messy house. And while it was a sore point between me and Mom for years, we did come to terms with it. When I look back on it now, there really were positives. If we ever needed supplies for a school project or props for an event, thank my lucky stars, we could find it right there at the house. I made a DNA molecule once out of telephone wire that was displayed at the high school long after I graduated. And once when I needed a mannequin, we found more than one in the attic. Mom wasn't perfect, but sometimes she knew exactly what a situation called for. When my college boyfriend dumped me, we purged the remnants of lost love by burning the love letters in the hot dog pit in the backyard. It was definitely a mother-daughter bonding moment. And when Kevin and I married, instead of chastising me for being pregnant at the time, she wrote me a treasured letter telling me that home isn't a place, it's an atmosphere. If you have a difference of opinion, try to understand the other's reason. It may be sounder than your own. And that it looks to be a cold, windy weekend, a good time for snuggling, as I remember. Several years ago, I found a poem entitled The Old Woman by Joseph Campbell. I saved it for this occasion because the fact of Mom's death is not really a surprise, but my emotions are. I knew I would miss her, but I didn't realize how much. The old woman. As a white candle in a holy place, so is the beauty of an aged face. As the spent radiance of the winter sun, so is a woman with her travail done. Her brood gone from her, and her thoughts as still as the waters under a ruined mill.
I'm Chip, her oldest son, trying to hold it together and be able to speak here. I didn't prepare much, I just wanted to give you some thoughts I've had about Mom over the past few days. For example, on the way down, the sun was coming through the clouds at an angle, and I told the kids, there's a stairway for her to walk up. So we took a picture of that. I think after she walks up there, she's going to see Curtis first. and Michael, they'll be waiting for her. And after they hug it out, they're going to sit down and play maybe some gin rummy or cards or something. Because she was always ready to play a game with us when we needed somebody. And of course, they'll all tell each other how much they love them. And that'll remind her about us. She'll look down at us, telling us how much she loves us. Okay, excuse me. And then, of course, Maurice and Marguerite will be there, her parents. And they'll look down at her, and then Helen and Gail and Austin will come over, her sisters and brothers. And it'll be the most beautiful sight ever. That's about all I've been thinking about for the last week. So I'm sorry I'm laughing and crying. I'm just trying not to be unable to speak. Well, now that I'm done, my voice is coming back. The main thing I want you to know is that she was full of love, and she was always there for us, no matter what. Even if we did something wrong, she was there for us, and we would talk through it. And she was just the most loving person ever. Thank you very much.
Kevin, you want to go next?
Okay.
Okay.
Let's.
You can go.
You wanna go up, Linda?
We're not really stuck to any order.
Yeah.
And I'll probably start crying too. Well, I'm the oldest, and Mama has been there for all of us, like she said, but we were spiritualists, and one of her dreams was when Curtis died, Mom saw Jesus in the ring of angels, and she wanted to die with my baby brother, but Mama said, Linda's gonna need you. So I was pregnant. I told Mama, no, I'm not pregnant after my divorce, and I was almost 6 months with my first son. So Mama was there for me to help me raise my children, and just done so much for me financially, and just, you know, just a wonderful mama. And I just want to say that, and there was one thing, she did makeup for Zanona Clayton, and one of the funny things, they did a program for a big benefit, and the funny thing, they spelled Israel wrong. And they sent those things out, and it was too late to do anything about it. That was a funny thought. But Chip, like you said, there was the angels and Jesus waiting for Mama. And there was Curtis, everybody was waiting. So, you know, they had a joyous welcoming. So, just thank you, Mama. You're going to be missed. And you've just put life in the theater world and life in the world. So just thank you, Mama. We love you.
Show me that button to push. I'll record you.
I think it'll be all right.
Oh, okay.
Thanks. I'll just leave it sitting there. Yeah, I'm Kevin Fitzgerald, and I've been blessed to know the Chambers family since high school. When I came over there, I didn't know anybody, but Chip was one of the nice people there. A lot of other nice folks who, you know, I warmed up to later on. They figured me out, I figured them out. It was cool. But the story I wanted to tell basically portrayed how Miss Marian stood up for her kids. As you know, I'm a cyclist, and Michael and Paul both love riding. This is back when Mike was starting to ride some pretty high miles with me, and I had a tandem bicycle, and to ride with someone as small as Mike was at the time, he had to have a child adapter. It was an extra crankset partway up the rear of the frame so that his legs could reach the pedals. Well, we'd finished a nice ride, and we were inside, and all of a sudden we hear screaming from outside. And poor Paul had fooled around with the child adapter and got his finger caught in the chain. And the tension on that is absolute. There's no spring on between the child adapter and the sprockets below. So it hurt his finger very, very badly. Well, we all jumped in the van and went to South Fulton Hospital. And I found out later the doctor wanted to just give up on Paul's fingertip. I mean, it was cut right through the middle of the fingernail. and I'd say about 2/3 of the way through. But Paul's granny did some insisting.
And
There you go, Linda. And fingertip was saved, and now Paul's able to, put those machines together there in McDonough at the Snapper Factory and do so many other good things. But that's a story I remember, the prime example of how she stood by everyone. She sure stood by for Paul. The two of them together was quite a pair. It was pretty fun to watch. A lot of good memories there. And but I will miss her. I'll miss the stories. I'll miss her, just so many things about her. But I'm very thankful that she has a place like this to be remembered by. We'll walk away here with even more good memories. And so to everyone here, thank you for letting me be part of this adventure. It's been amazing. Blessings to you all.
thank you, Phil.
It's good, believe me.
Hi, I'm Leah, the third one in the middle, still in the middle. And Mom and I were a lot alike. And it makes it really hard to say goodbye. It's just like I'm saying goodbye to a part of myself. She carried us in her womb. You can't be much closer to a person than that. And I don't know what life is going to hold without her, but I have lots of emails and I've been reading them, and it's like talking to her. So I'll have to print some of those out and send them around so y'all can experience that too. I have some things written down, and I have a couple of Bible verses I wanted to share with you that were her favorites. So I may be up here a few minutes, so just be patient with me. And then I might sing if my throat will handle that. We'll see, I don't sing, so it's not going to be a pleasant experience, but Mom would love it. She would have loved this place and the fact that we're all celebrating her life in a wonderful little theater. Mom graduated from LaGrange College with degrees in speech and drama and had an opportunity to go to the Pasadena Playhouse in California on a full scholarship. But she and Dad had already met and fallen in love, so that's the route she took. She didn't go to Pasadena, but the rest, as they say, is history. In 1967, Mom's sister Gail sent her 4 tickets to see the Beatles. Sorry, I'm drying out. She's going to get my water. Since Gail's family could not make the trip from New York, she really was in the press room with the Beatles at the Atlanta Stadium when the mayor, who was it Ivan Allen?
I think so.
He gave them the key to the city. She even got to ask young Paul McCartney a question, but then the folding chair that she was standing on to get a better view began to fold up beneath her, and she was so busy trying not to fall she didn't hear what his answer was. She had asked him something about, do you have girlfriends in the United States? And of course, everybody would have been his girlfriend. When the Beatles were escorted out of the press room, she joined Daddy, Linda, Chip, and me to watch the concert. It was a thrill for all 5 of us. Curtis is a unique story, and I don't know how many of you knew him, but he taught us so much about love and patience. And I remember once when Mom was handing out candy, we didn't get to do that very often, but we were in the kitchen and she had a bag of Nestle's morsels. And she was pouring some in everybody's hand, and she poured a little extra in Curtis's. And somebody said, I wish I was retarded so I could get more candy. And of course she was going to fuss, but then we realized how ridiculous that was, so we all burst out laughing. She tells the story, and I'll tell it as if she is telling it. One day Curtis had a cough and needed to see the pediatrician. Our regular doctors were out of town, so we went to the alternate doctor's office. When the doctor entered the exam room, Curtis was sitting with his back to the door, and he didn't acknowledge that she had entered the little room. She took that into account immediately and said to me, "Is he deaf?" I never liked people talking about Curtis when he was sitting right there like he was invisible, so it ticked me off in the most amazing way. I leaned over sort of close to Kurt's head and said, "Boo!" He jumped about 3 inches straight up, looked at me like I was crazy, and sat much straighter when he landed. I turned to the nice doctor and said, "Nope, not deaf." I leaned over Curtis and whispered to him, "Sorry, Curtis, I just had to do that." I don't know if he understood, but I got a little smile anyway. She examined him, wrote the prescription, and we never saw her again. I don't know what she thought of me, and I'm sure I could have done better with some things, but Curtis and I laughed all the way home. All right, come on in and have a seat. Mom loved the golden rule. Whatsoever ye would that others should do unto you, do ye also unto them. And she was always ready to turn the other cheek, or empty her pockets if that's what you needed, or give you the shirt off her back. She did this for so many people. She took in stray humans and animals alike. We had pets all over the house. I remember one time she was working on something and she said, "Leah, hand me the putty knife." I said, "The what?" She said, "The putty knife." I said, "What's that?" And she realized, and finally I knew what she meant when she said, "You know the thing we used to scrape the cat poop up off the floor." That's how we grew up. And it was, I don't know how many people could have come out of that and still love their mom, but we do. We adored her, and she taught us tolerance and patience and thrift in a way that you just can't learn unless you've lived it. When Mom became a great-grandmother, she sent out an email saying how thrilled she was that Michael and April named their first baby after her, Michaela Eugenia Chambers. Then she told the story. When I was 11, Mother had a housekeeper who brought her niece to work with her one day. The girl saw a letter on the table with my name on it. She said, "Oh, you has the same name as my sister." I asked her which name. She pointed to my middle name and said, "That one, Eugenaya." I didn't want to hurt her feelings, so I said, "Yes, I like that name too." And I love the name Eugenia, and I've come up with some things. Eugenia. E, encouraging. U, unique. G, generous. E, eclectic. N, newsworthy. I, industrious. A, all about family. When Mom got her first computer, it opened up a whole new world of communication. A few years ago, she sent this message around. A personal note to my children before I forget. As you all know, I, your mother, am approaching my 78th birthday. I hear by the grapevine that people my age are very forgetful, but I don't remember who told me that. I think I have had a very full and interesting life, a loving husband for many years, 6 wonderful children, and activities which many people would envy. So I will be writing you often while I share my memories. If I bore you, I'm sorry. It is your loss. If I entertain you, good. You also know where the delete key is, as I will be doing this on email. Your loving mom, Marian. We all got lots of emails, funny ones, patriotic ones, news, good and bad, about family and friends, and a great supply of Mom's wit and humor, all full of pride and love for her children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. She would say things like, "I don't like being paranoid, but a psychologist once told me, you are not paranoid if they really are out to get you." She got a message from Yahoo once that stopped her from sending an email. It said, "You cannot send this many emails in less than an hour." She would sit there just typing. She really did tap her fingers because she typed and played the piano. She said, "I'll slow down a little bit, but not much." And in some of the emails she sent to us kids, she would say things like, "I love knowing you are all out there in cyberspace somewhere." Yahoo! That's the singing that you're going to get. I love you all, and thanks for letting me be your mother. Mom would love, oh, I'm back to my first page. Wait, I missed a page. What happened? There it is. The memories are precious because they are mostly about you kids and the joy we had together. You were all wonderful little people, and I had a great pleasure bringing you into and partly through this world. Busy, happy family, thanks to you all. I have you in my heart. Keep me in yours. Love to all of you, and make a toast to each other. I think you are a splendid group of people. And she said this in a recent email: "I just want to thank all of you who are my children for being my children. I enjoyed being your mom. I have enjoyed each of you so much. I could not have picked better." And I think she's right, and we feel the same way about her. Here's the next excerpt from a poem that she forwarded me, which I've lived through hundreds of emails in the past 2 weeks, and I can't believe how many say FW, FW, FW. If she found something good, she was passing it on, and so I'll have to read all of those when I have more time. When you worry and hurry through your day, it is like an unopened gift thrown away. Life is not a race. Take it slower. Hear the music before the song is over. And I'd like to sing a song, if I can. Sarah? Sarah's going to help me with the yellow. We haven't really practiced together. Just like I said, I don't sing, so it's not like you know, stand and let me sing. So just work through it with me. And it's the words in the back of the program. And I would love for everyone to join in and sing to Mom on the part that's the Hallelujah chorus. It's not the religious Hallelujah, but you may recognize this song. It was written by Leonard Cohen in 1984, which is the year Curtis died. So when I came across that fact, and these words were inspired to me, I just felt like it would be appropriate. You want to come up here with me? Like I said, we haven't practiced, so don't put this on YouTube, please. Let us at least go through auto-tune.
If I do, I'm sure it'll, no one will
That's what I
mind.
was going to say also about that. Mom loved all of our endeavors and appreciated the creativity and thought that went into them, and she lovingly ignored the imperfections. She heard our songs with auto-tune ears before we'd ever heard of auto-tune. This song, Hallelujah, was written in 1984 by Leonard Cohen, the year Curtis died, so it seemed appropriate. Listen as Mom would with your auto-tune ears. Please sing along with the chorus and share it in celebration of Mom's life. They met, found love, and soon were wed. She asked him as they lay in bed, "You don't mind if we have 6 children, do ya?" The babies came in joy and tears and kept you busy all these years. You laugh and sing as we all listen to ya. Hallelujah. Time goes by so fast, you'd say. You shared your joy of life each day with family and friends who loved and knew ya. But now you've had to go away, and when you left, we cried for days. 'Cause when you're gone, you know what they meant to ya. Hallelujah. 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 The time has come to say farewell, but saying it is really hell. You gave us all the love we give back to ya. So off you go to fly so free on rustling wings. I long to see where angels up
Frey beard.
Since I'm the baby of the family, I'll go last. We did have a kind of a unique childhood. I wanted to mention a few of the things that, I guess looking back, we kind of had something to brag about. Mom seemed to be on TV a lot. One of the unusual TV events was she got interviewed on WAGA TV. She worked in the TV business to some degree. She knew Guy Sharp, so they kind of working in there, you know. But she was the makeup artist for Sonona Clayton way back in the late 60s, and I remember several times we would go to the station with her, and while she was trying to take care of business, we were over there meddling in the prop section and watching some of the programming that was on the big reels in the back. It was pretty fun adventure for us. But I remember we were at the Greenbrier Mall, and she had been interviewed earlier in the day because the East Point City Council had accused her of wizardry. She was an advocate of palm reading and astrology, and she apparently made somebody in the council mad, and they had passed a city ordinance outlawing mind reading. So she was interviewed later in the evening. It was on the evening news, and we happened to be shopping at Greenbrier Mall, and we were in the electronics department, and her face appeared on the TV, and we were like, wow, Mom's on TV, and we saw this interview happening. It was very strange to see that really what amounted to witch burning was still alive and well. This was in, I don't know, gosh, early 70s, I forget what year it was, but it was real strange to see that happening then. I really didn't put it together at the time. I thought it was very cool. Mom was on TV. I didn't know the circumstances, and it didn't occur to me later how absurd the entire situation was. But she did manage to somehow always insert herself into these unusual situations. She did continue with her aptitude for the unusual. She opened a tarot shop in downtown East Point, right across the street from City Hall. It was in a Chinese health food store, and she had a table set up in the back, and she had her sign in the front, and she thought it was a bad omen that she wouldn't be in business long because the sign kept falling off the window. So she was right, but it was very much an adventure to go to this Chinese health food store and see little boxes of grasshoppers and scorpions and parts of eels and seaweed and things like that. So once again, when we were around Mom, we got to have an adventure that most people don't. She was very creative, and she had a very wry, clever wit, and you never knew what the object of her current attention would be. But she sent me a poem one day on email. It's a little odd, but she calls it it's pretty funny. Rochelle's Perfect Form. It's about a cockroach. She says, hello, you humans, as poor as can be. I run so fast you can't catch me. I can see you coming, and though I'm not bright, I can slip away quickly and be out of sight. I may not be handsome or comely to you, but I can attract mates of my kind, and do. We breed in darkness, in privacy, see. You breed in places too open for me. You put out your poisons hoping to kill, and I'll admit sometimes you will, but I came here perfect, and here I will stay. I'll be cleaning your grandchildren's bones someday. It's just, it's kind of the perfect, strange irony. Her creative wit, the things that it would catch us by surprise when she would send us stuff like this, because she was very creative. Even her birth announcements, I wish we had copies of them because they'd be a perfect fit.
We do, they're over here on the memorabilia table.
We were each a separate production. And I remember going through them when I was a kid, I really didn't understand the amount of time and wit it took to put this together. There's a picture also. Is the picture up there, the article?
Yep.
There's an article in the Atlanta Journal of a play that she was in 1963. In the article, it was printed on March 13, 1963. I was 3 months old and she was already back in theater. So I found it really interesting that the core of her life was us kids and theater and family. You know, we did family stuff, amazing things when we were young. Taking a trip across the country. For some reason, Mom and Dad thought it was a good idea in 1969 to pack up 6 kids, all 8 of us, in his panel station wagon and drag a trailer from Atlanta up to, I don't know if we made it as far as Vancouver. We crossed into it. We were in Washington State, crossed into Canada, and we all got our little Canadian dimes. And then we had a week to make it from Washington State back to Atlanta. But that's the kind of adventure that we found ourselves on many times. It was a lot of fun. So I think it's perfectly appropriate for us to honor her in a place like this. It's a very cool final farewell site. So Leslie did a great pick on the site. And just want to say thanks to Mom for all the fun we had when we were kids. I think she did a great job being a mom. She did a great job being a grandma. Doing a lot of things that many grannies, as she was known, wouldn't normally be expected to do. So, Mom, take care. We'll see you. Not too soon, I hope, but we'll see you up there sometime in the near future. Thanks.
Considering that Mom was here, is Phil going to speak? Is that all?
I think that's everybody speaking. Jason's going to play a song next.
All right, I think when Jason is finished, we can applaud and give a round of applause to Mom and everybody who's here, and thank you for coming. And that'll be our way of sending her off on a round of applause. So thank you. Go ahead and play, Jason.
On that vacation trip, just real quick, there was just something Curtis, this was hilarious, and some might not think it's funny, but Curtis was so special, and I was in the back seat with him, and it was one of these times where when you can't get to a bathroom, you use what you got. And I'm back there, and Curtis had to go to the bathroom. He did this to go to the bathroom. And I'm holding about 3 or 4 or 5 cups, and we didn't have any more cups, and we finally had to stop. That was just a real funny thought of Curtis. He was just a lot of funny, comical, wonderful things that he gave us in life.
But if you hear the family say, "Give me another cup,"
But I was in the back seat, Leah, just
I know,
working with the cups.
there.
And it was funny. It was.
Back, I'm not going to make anybody move. If you know, there was a big push in the early 70s for something that was at the time called mainstreaming. It was taking mentally handicapped children and putting them into the normal education system. It was very controversial at the time, but not one to back down from controversy. Mom was very much involved at the forefront of getting mentally handicapped kids into the normal school structure. It wasn't a normal classroom, but even at Dotson Drive Elementary, where we all went to school, Curtis was able to go into a building with other students and participate in lunch and participate in recess. She did a lot of things that weren't politically correct. And it means a lot later when you look back at the people who did controversial things, especially if you think about the mentally handicapped community. She was very involved in that, and she also had made sure to stay in touch with the East Point Fire Department, and many of their fundraisers were things that Mom had helped organize. They got a bunch of speech development software back when software was outrageously expensive. Early 70s computers were cost prohibitive, and she did manage to get something called the Vocade purchased by contributions to the fire department. Distributed to different kids. Curtis is one of them. It's an ingenious little computer, almost like a laptop computer before computers were available. So I remember Mom being involved in a lot of those kind of things, and her involvement with the mental handicapped community and mainstreaming of kids in the school was one of her big accomplishments.
Help with some of the classes for the retarded children, and I helped take a class to Fort McPherson, and I helped them learn to swim, and Curtis was in that class. And I loved it, and I was able to help with the retarded people also.
And out, over time, she met some wonderful people. They're all seated over here, Jason and Sherry and John, Annette and Bill, and I can't remember your name, I'm sorry. Okay, but these are all friends of Paul's who have become Mom's friends, and on her last birthday, her 82nd birthday, we had her party at John and Sherry's, and it was wonderful, and I thank y'all so much for that.
And I was so glad she was brave enough to come down for Christmas.
Oh,
She couldn't come down the year before, but she made it this year. And that was wonderful, even though it was pouring down raining.
Hors d'oeuvre buffet, they're gonna set it up now, but get up and mingle and hang out, look at pictures. We're done with the serious part, let's have some fun.
Wow. I'll say, that's great. Do the whistle for me. Who can do the whistle?
That's Laurie Lee.
Oh, okay. Because I didn't get the whistle at the beginning. We'll have to have someone do that for me later.
Have you ever heard Mom do it for
No, I don't think I remember that.
Scared us to death when we heard that sound.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, here's the view from the stage. Pretty amazing. Right here in Griffin. Had no idea it was here. And now we're up on the stage. So we get to be the stars now. We get to enjoy some good food. Isn't this wonderful? Can you believe this is here?
What?
Can you believe they have this nice theater here?
Isn't this nice?
It really is. I'm thrilled. I'm very thrilled to having this. All right. Now, yeah, you can see they have some pretty interesting backdrop here. And all kind of interesting stuff on display. All right, well, I'm gonna go and hit the food line. I've heard it said the videographer finishes last. And I've actually heard myself say that. So, let me stop for now. And we'll pick it up later. Now I want this on video though. Let me get a video shot real quick. But anyway, yeah, you want 16 East, and you come into town, and you can catch me a little bit later when you get into town. Okay? Okay, it's 102 Hill Street. All right, here we go. Bye bye. Okay. All right, I need to do some explaining. I was giving directions even as we were speaking. Let me get one more zoom here. All right. Wow, what a bunch of folks. This is awesome. All right, now I'm going to get in it, okay? All right, here we go. They're up there all taken. I'm going to get them back. I'm going to get them back. I'm going to take pictures of them. Let me get a sideways view of everybody. I'm just
Okay.
hoping.
Hope you got my good side.
Oh, hard to, yeah, I can try it from here. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, no, I don't think I'll.
Are we good? Yes.
Hey, all right.
No, actually.
Now. Hey, you guys, guess who's on the way?
Oh, Michaela?
Yeah, yeah. So let's hope and pray they get here. They're coming. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. All right. All right. Are we standing by or recording? Okay, we're recording. All right. Okay, who can do the whistle? Well, Lisa. Well, at least you're on pitch, right?
Yeah.
Wow, that's something to see you guys.
Thank you, Jane, for being here.
Whoa.
I really appreciate
Okay, brother and sister. All right, good of you guys. All right, that's good. That's a take. Thank y'all. Oh, yeah, we're here in the lobby. Well, sort of the lobby. It's kind of hard to figure this place out. I mean, it's really pretty amazing. The mannequins here and here. That's kind of interesting. Hey, you guys, you made it. Congratulations.
Yeah.
I think it's the first time I've given directions and shot video at the same time. Wow, and so you guys got to come too. Michaela, how's it going? Congratulations on making it. Are you glad to get here? What do you think of the theater? Isn't it amazing? I know my theater teacher would be mad with me calling it a theater instead of a theater. Yeah. All right, you guys look up here at me so I get a shot of you guys. All right, sweet.
See you, buddy.
Yeah. Hey, listen, John, y'all take care.
All right.
Kevin, listen,
Yeah, okay.
I don't know if this is going to work for you, but we're having a birthday party for John, Layla, and my sister at Callaway Gardens.
Whoa, when will that be?
It's going to be March the 4th. It's a Sunday, March the 4th. You're
Okay.
way more than welcome.
Oh, that's sweet. Well, I'll
We
see if
got
I
a
can pull that
cabin.
off.
You know, they got bike trails there.
Ooh,
and,
wow,
I mean, it's
neat.
a really nice, and you get to go into the park free, so I got a cabin.
Uh-oh. Now we got a little camera technique to deal with here. Hey, that's not a bad picture right there. Wow. There's some, well, we're skipping one generation there. We got to get Linda in there for, get that. Yeah, this is what, the 4-generation picture?
Yeah.
Dad, Mom, grandchild and great-grandchild. I know Michael's smiling down on us from heaven now.
That was right, Helen, you got it.
All right, one more angle. Okay, and I want to get a phone cam picture, so let me put my camera on pause after I show all the photographers here. All right, here we go. Okay, I swore I'd make this a quick shot, so here it is. Everybody say your name.
Linda.
One at a time. Okay, you're Linda. Now, did I hear you say your name? Say it again. Andrew. You're Andrew. Okay. And you can tell them apart real good today because they're wearing different colored shirts. All right. Well, thank you for being in my video. Here we go. Well, that's it from the Opera House. As you can see, it's a very windy day and it's cold too, but you know, it's February. So we definitely enjoyed our time at the Opera House, and hopefully we get to come here for an opera someday. But I bet they'll never have anything like that again. But if they do, maybe it'll be because we talked about it. So we will say goodbye. Head on out of here. Right, Paul?
Yeah.
All right, sign us off.
See you later.
All right, bye.